Oh, okay. Here we are. We did it. Oh. Okay. We're gonna do it. Okay, this is. So who do we have here? We have. Okay, so this will be my first YouTube live. We'll see how it goes. I don't have as many followers on here, but I'm sure some of the Facebook friends will show up, eh, Floyd? So Floyd, we're gonna. So we've got Sid, Coco, Kiwi, and Floyd, and we're going to carve the pumpkin. Floyd, over here. Come here. That's not how you do it. Here. He's not. Come here, Floyd. Watch. Oh, he wants it now that I'm not here. Okay, before you cut yourself, can you cut it with me? Huh? Watch him be afraid of the pumpkin. Can you see him? Coco, do you want to carve the pumpkin? You seem more interested in it than anyone else. Sid? Let me get the lid off first, and then Floyd will get to it. He wants to touch it, but he knows I'm touching it, so he thinks he's not allowed to. You guys see it? How many? We've got 15, 17 watching, Floyd. Normally we're like 500 or 400. That's okay. So if we make a big mistake, Floyd, then what happens? Only 15 or 16 people see it, right? Here. Look. Okay, we'll see what he does. He doesn't want me. You can play. Come on, here. Here. Well, you got a seed. You're not going to carve it? Come on, here. Okay, well, there's that. Here, Floyd, here. Here. Suddenly he doesn't want to do it. Come on, Floyd, here. Come on, you come over here. Let's see if he does it. I'll pretend I'm busy. Hi, Kiwi. Hi, Coco. How are you? Hi, Kiwi. Hi, Coco. Okay, maybe Coco will carve. Floyd, you don't want to carve. Here. Here, you go up here. You just want to eat the seeds? And Coco, you carve. Okay? Here. What's in here? Look. Yeah. Come on. You guys are very exciting today. Here. Look. We're going to cut it up and bake it. Come on, Coco. Here. Yeah. There we go. There's Coco. See? Do you like it? Here, you sit here for a minute on the pumpkin. You sit on the pumpkin. Floyd, you want some pumpkin? Here. She doesn't know how to carve it. Do we have anyone even watching, guys? Here, do you want pumpkin? Do you want some, Sid? Here. Oh, good girl. How we got watching? We got 27 watching. Here, Sid. Here. Let's see if I can see it on my thing. Are you guys able to comment? I can't tell. Let me go to my YouTube channel. Oh, there we go. Oh. I need to enable chat next time. Sorry, guys. So anyways, so I guess I'll just talk to myself instead of everyone else. So everyone likes the pumpkin. Do you want maybe Floyd will go on here now? Here. Here. Here, Floyd. Here. There. You go to the pumpkin now, okay? It's your turn. Here. There. Okay. Look at Coco trying to get Kiwi's tail. Coco's really mad at Kiwi right now. I don't know why. But every time she sees Kiwi, she's always like, do you want to go? Before she couldn't care less about Kiwi, but apparently now she hates Kiwi's guts. So Kiwi must have spooked her or something. I don't know what she did. Here, you come over here. Come on, let's chew it up. Here, Floyd. Look. Floyd, chew it up. Here. Chew that. Here. The last year you chewed the whole pumpkin up. Here. Okay, I won't look. Let's see what he does. Hi, Kiwi. How are you? Hi, Kiwi. Hi, Kiwi. Aren't you going to chew it up? There we go. I knew you would. It was too big, wasn't it? Here. Here. There you go. Here. Here, I'll pet you. Let's see what happens. Come on, Floyd, here. Chew it up. This was supposed to be a big, exciting experiment. Everyone's staring at the camera like they've never seen one before. Here, come here. Yeah, that's what you do. Here, Sid, she said grape. Grape? Do you want more pumpkin? Sorry, guys, it's not very exciting. Here. If anyone's watching. We've got, I can't see. We've got 64 watching. There we go. Now we got something going on, eh, Floyd? So why don't we talk about Floyd while he's carving the pumpkin. So Floyd is a Moroccan cockatoo. He's about 28 years old, and he's been through a number of homes. I met him when I was delivering toys to the rescue that we did a fundraiser for, and it's even on video when I first saw him. we were delivering toys, and all the cockatoos were just going bananas, like super loud, and two escaped, and I don't know what if you know what like 50, 70 cockatoos screaming sounds like. Well, it's a lot. It's loud. So I was walking along, and putting toys in, and then I see this cockatoo in this cage. He's got this big collar on. He's just sitting there like this. It was kind of like he was shut down. You know when animals are shut down? Like he's just like numb to everything. And that was him. So I stopped and talked to him for a minute, and then I was like, oh, I feel so bad for him. So the next time I did a fundraiser, I checked on him, and then I asked if I could pet him, so I started petting him a bit. And then I asked if I could take him out, and I took him out. And he didn't like going back in his cage, so every time I put him back in, he hated it. He didn't want to be in his cage. He would bite me, so like bad bites. That didn't matter. So then I started like just coming to visit Floyd to see how it was. And then it was Christmas time, and my husband always said, no more birds. No more birds. Right? No more birds. That's what he said. No more birds. Well, careful. And, what? Can you believe he said that? Anyway, so he never knows what to get me for Christmas. And I said, can I have another bird? Then he gave me a dirty look. And then after he's thought about it for 2 days, he said, okay, you can have your bird. But he didn't know it was this kind of bird. So then I visited him over Christmas. We were having a lot of people here, and so I didn't want to bring him here when there was all this commotion. So I brought him home after, and he's really wild, like so wild. Like he would jump off the counter and chase me around and bite my shins and my arms. But he had a big collar on because he had a big collar on. Why did you have the collar? Because he had a partial wing amputation? Because he had a tumor on his wing, so they removed it. So, oh, careful. Here. Anyways, so he just eventually just settled in here, and then he started leaving his wing alone, and then now he's like part of the family, and that was about 2 or 3 years ago. Right? Should we tell another story? Are people still watching? Yeah, we got 74 watching. So let's tell another bird story. Let's talk about, you want to talk about Sid? Let's talk about Sid. Here. We'll talk about Sid. Let's clean off Sid's stand. And we'll talk about her. Coco will be mad. Sid's story is always a really nice story, eh, Sid? Here, come here, sweetie. Oh, Coco's gonna get mad. Here. Here, Sid, come here. So Sid is a Congo African Grey. There's 2 types of African Greys. One, the Newman, if you follow my page, I have Newman, and he's a smaller gray, and he has a pink beak. And he's a Timney Gray, and Sid's Congo Gray. So Sid's story is really nice. Right, Sid? When we lived in a different place, we lived downtown, and we had just an apartment or whatever. Anyways, we didn't live here, and I had another African Grey. Her name was Bee, and she was so cute. Like she was a rescue. I bought her at the side of a road for like $500. Her and her poor pathetic eggs. That's another story. But anyways, I loved that bird. Like she was, like, you know, I always have those one birds that are really special that you saved. Well, she was that bird. And she was always into trouble, and she was always saying no, and she was like super sassy. And so she was just personality plus. And she ended up she would lay eggs, like excessive egg laying. Like since she came to me with eggs, and she'd been laying eggs for God knows how many years with the other owner. And she came to me with 3 eggs, and then she just kept laying eggs and eggs, no matter what I did. Look at Coco's mad at Kiwi. Don't you grab her tail. You're going to be in trouble. Here, let's put you... No. Let's move her just in case. No tail. No tail. Anyways, you guys can't see Floyd carving. Well, that's a bummer. Here. There we go. There's Floyd carving. So anyway, Sid, we'll go over here. So, B, she ended up having, look at the macaw. She just tore stuff off my fridge. Anyways, she was an excessive egg layer. And one time she had blood in her droppings, which I knew wasn't a good sign, but I was like, okay, let's just hope it's just the one time. Hey, no rings. And anyways, I ended up taking her to the vet, and she had cancer in her uterus from excessive egg laying. And that was in January. And we had the option of giving her surgery. And I chose no surgery because she was like totally like not healthy bird. She had a bad diet her whole life, and she wasn't healthy enough to go under surgery. I didn't think. Like she was kind of a frail bird. Like, sit. Are you going on the fridge? Anyway, so we just kind of kept her at home, took her in for checkups, and then one day she got really sick. Like tired and weak and everything. And so I said, okay, well, it's near the end now, let's try the surgery. And so we tried, oh, you want to keep being held? Okay. Okay, so she went in for surgery to remove the tumor. Was our last effort, because she was at the end of her time with us, and the doctor thought we could save her, and so she went into surgery, and then she wouldn't come out of anesthesia, like she was dying on the table, and the vet got me on the phone, and I kept calling her, B, wake up, B. So she did. She came back to my voice, which was really sweet. And so then she was recuperating. The next day she was getting better, and then all of a sudden she started not like doing really bad. And it was because the vet said that, because she had 3 blood transfusions in surgery. So the vet said that her organs were not strong enough to process and remove that infused blood, because she was so weak. Anyway, so we ended up having to. She ended up dying like right there before we euthanized her. Like she was dying. Anyway, so that was B. So I was like heartbroken. Like. I just felt like the worst. It was just terrible. I felt so bad. And I asked my vet, I said, oh, doctor, will there be another B? And she said, no, there'll never be another B. So that was kind of really good for me to hear, because I knew then that I could never replace that bird. And so then a couple weeks later, I'm still crying my eyes out. And then I get a phone call from the doctor, and she said, oh, Danita, I have someone you might want to meet. And I thought, oh, I don't think I can do that. But I went in and I saw this little girl. They brought her out to meet me. And she was living with she was living with the vet. And her dad had just died from cancer. And the dad was trying to find a really, really good home for her, but he couldn't find one. And I think 2 weeks before he died, he asked the doctor if she would adopt Sid. So the doctor said yes, and then she'd been with that man for her whole life, and she was so spoiled. And so then I thought, so I kept back going to visit her because I felt really sorry for her. And just because I knew she lost her person, and I knew I lost my bird, and she just wanted lots of attention. And even though the doctor had adopted Sid, she knew that a home would, because she's busy or whatever, and she already had birds, it'd be better off in my home. So anyways, that's why, and she contacted the family of the man to ask if it was okay that she adopted Sid to me. So that was really nice, and they said yes. So Sid, I decided to keep her, and because I said to her dad in heaven, I said, Dad in heaven, can you please watch over my bee, and I'll always make sure your Sid is well loved and cared for and spoiled. So that was the deal. So I ended up with Sid. Right, Sid? That was a nice story. It was a nice story. But Sid hates Newman. Like, hates Newman. Like, hates Newman. And Newman hates Sid. But Newman thinks that Newman hated B too. So she hated, he hated B too. So he calls her B. So you'll hear him call for B all the time, and that's because he's calling her. So that's Sid's story. We got people watching. That was enough for people to watch. We've got 89. Should we talk about Kiwi's story? Huh? Is it Kiwi's turn? Let's do a Kiwi story. Kiwi's a good story too. Here, do you want me to hold you while we tell your story? Everyone hates Kiwi. Everyone's giving Kiwi the look. Floyd, you never mind. So this is Kiwi. When we got her, she was about 11 years old. And it was just when I only had a cockatoo and an African gray. Oh, it looks like I'm talking, when I'm on YouTube, I'm talking the other way. So I should be looking this way. Or I don't know. It says I'm looking at you. It's all flat. Anyways, okay. I'm just going to keep doing this. So Kiwi, I just had Newman and a cockatiel. And I'd always look for birds. And my husband said, I said, oh, if you were to get your dream bird, what would it be? And he said, Macaw. So, should we give Kiwi a turn? Kiwi wants a turn. So he said a macaw. And so of course, what do? I go online, I'm looking for macaws to be rehomed. Okay. I'm looking for macaws to be rehomed. Okay. Here, this is the thing. Okay, I can't think when you're doing that. Here. Okay, here. Okay. Let's put you there. Can you guys see Kiwi? She's making a mess. So I saw this lady looking to sell a macaw for sell a macaw. So I emailed her. I said, how much? I emailed her and asked her about the macaw, and she said that the macaw was. Oh, she said the macaw. Okay. She said the macaw was 11 years old. She'd had her whole life, but she has grandchildren now. So the grandchildren. She hated kids. Like when she saw kids, like she'd scream her head off. Hated kids. And they wanted to get rid of her because they were afraid that the kiwi would bite the grandkids, which I totally understand. And I think it's because this is behind. I'm not watching it live. Anyway, okay. So she careful! You're gonna make a mess. Here, Kiwi. So anyways, I asked my husband if we could get a macaw, and he said no macaw. So then the lady really liked me, and she wanted me to have a macaw. So she says, I'll give you the macaw. So I thought, okay, well, I'll take the macaw, and I'll find a new home for the macaw. So we went and picked her up, and she was in this big chicken coop with one toy. And she's like this wild macaw. She was just like all over the place and screaming and everything. And I was like, oh, I couldn't take that big anyway. So, hey, you want to be on the camera? Okay, here. Okay, so this is what you want. Okay, anyway, so I brought Kiwi home. Or no, this one guy said that he would take Kiwi. And he was my neighbor. And I was like, okay, I'll bring Kiwi home in about 3 weeks. So he says, yeah, I'll take her. And then I asked him if he'd looked into cages or anything, and he hadn't. He had done no research or anything. So when we brought her back, I said he couldn't take the macaw because he didn't care enough to even look into her. And I thought, if I had to watch him neglect the macaw that lived down the hall from me, I would never forgive myself. So we ended up keeping her, and we didn't have a cage or anything, so she lived in one of these big dog crates, and she wouldn't eat. And so I'd only feed, so the only thing she would eat was peanut butter and jam. Don't you chew those cabinets. So she ate peanut butter and jam sandwiches for the first 2 weeks. Kiwi. Oh, this is not good. You can't do that. Here. Here you go here. Careful. I'm slippery. Here. And you. Here. Nope. Come here. Here. Come here. Come here. Here. No, here. And she's pissed off right now, so she's good. Here, I need 2 hands to get Kiwi. Here. Come on. That's enough of that. Here. Here. Come here. Here. Ah. There you go. Anyway, so we had Kiwi before she got her cage. Now here's Coco. So we got Kiwi, a cage and everything, and I took her to the doctor, and she ended up having pneumonia. And I asked the doctor, I said, she won't eat. She only eats peanut butter and jam sandwiches. And the doctor said, because I was freaking out, she wasn't eating. The doctor said, well, just tell her there's no more peanut butter and jam sandwiches left. So I thought, okay. So I told her that, and then she started eating the food. We had to hand feed her or whatever, so we spoon fed her for 3 years. And then she went through this hormonal thing where she ended up having seizures. So she was on seizure medications for a couple years. And they were weird seizures. They were like, she just kind of wilt and wake up disoriented. Anyways, So that's Kiwi's story. So we got Floyd, Sid, and Kiwi, but no Coco. You guys watching still? Oh, we got 100 people watching. So I guess you're interested in my stories. So why don't we talk about, what time is it? Oh, let's talk about Coco. What should we talk about? Hey, don't go there. It's hard for me to do these videos because I don't have any interaction and I don't know what I did to give myself, like other people have live chat or whatever, and I don't know what I did to not make live chat. Anyway, so let's talk about Coco. Coco pants. Coco was the first time I saw Coco, we were at the refuge rescuing all these birds from the refuge. There was like 584 birds there. And a whole bunch of volunteers came together and we went there to clean the refuge and prepare for the rescue or whatever. So the first time I went there, I was in charge of the African gray area, going in there. And they were terrible birds. Like they weren't people friendly anymore, so they were like dive bombing you and everything. And on my way there, I saw Coco with Lucky Lou, and I thought, oh, she looks so sick. And we were supposed to tell the vets, because there was 4 or 5 vets that went there for the rescue. We were supposed to tell the vets if we thought one was sick. So I ran. She was with Lucky Lou, and I ran to the vets. I said, I think those 2 were sick. But there were so many sick birds. They said, okay. Like, there were hundreds of sick birds. And 15 on death's door. So a couple of plucked, shivering cockatoos wasn't a big deal. So I went, but I felt so bad for them because they looked cold. They both were cold, and she was scrounging for food, and she was a mess. But I thought she was really, really cute, and I just felt so bad for them. And you like the story of when Mommy first saw you? So then I cleaned the gray cages, and then the next weekend we went back, and I was in charge of cleaning the hospital area cages, and that's where Coco and Lucky Lou were. And it was like, I saw them and they were in a cage together, and there was like rat poop everywhere, like rat poop in their dishes, rat poop above them, rat poop below them. And I was like, ugh. So I said to the other volunteers, I said, I'm going to take those 2 birds home. You watch me. I want those birds. And everyone looked at me like I was crazy because they were like the ugliest birds. Well, they weren't the ugliest birds. I didn't think so. But people said they were the ugliest birds in the refuge. I did not think that. I thought they were the nicest birds. So don't let anyone say any different, right? So I just made sure their cage was clean. I just felt sorry for them, and I hated to leave them, and I made sure they had something to do and everything. And then we went back the next weekend, and I checked on them. So that was the 3rd weekend. I checked on them and made sure they were okay. And I didn't hear anything from the vet because I had sent a message to the hospital manager that if you're looking for a foster home for these 2 birds, let me know. No, my camera's gonna die. I'm looking for a foster home for the birds, let me know. Oh, if you're looking for a foster home for the birds, I'll foster those 2 birds. So anyways, I didn't hear anything. So the 3rd week I went back. I made sure they were clean. I felt bad for them. I didn't really handle them at all. I didn't know what was wrong with them or how friendly they were. And so that was the 3rd weekend. Then I didn't go the 4th weekend, but I got a message from the manager said, I didn't tell my husband. I got a message from my manager saying, "Oh, Dr. McDonald wants you to come over. She's got a surprise for you." And I'm like, "Oh no, that means I'm really gonna get them, and that means I gotta tell my husband I'm adding 2 more birds." And so anyway, so it was like 8 at night, and I go, before I leave, I go, "Oh, Brett, I gotta go to the hospital. They need me. There's 2 birds that might need a foster home." And I didn't know, he didn't know that I'd already said I'd take them. So anyways, he just was like so mad. Like, I thought, oh well, whatever, he'll get over there. And so I went there, and they were in this carrier, these 2 little faces, and they just looked terrible. They were like plucked and dirty and stunk and everything. And I went and I said hi, and then everyone's like standing around looking at them, because they had to bring a bunch of birds out. Like, they had to keep bringing birds out of there so that eventually they could empty it. So everyone comes, and then Dr. McDonald goes, "Everyone come and look at Danita's new birds." And then they all come, they look in the thing at them, and they're like, because their eyes popped open, like they were expecting some jewel of birds or whatever. Anyway, so I brought them home, and they were so cute and everything, and I had to keep them in the spare bedroom so they wouldn't, in case they had diseases or whatever. And then they just ended up staying with me, and Lucky Lou got sick, as you know, but it took them a while to get used to everything, because they never had TV or vacuums or bedrooms or quiet. So they would actually scream in the middle of the night, because they were used to being scared, right? So they were really scared in the night. So I'd have to get up with them a few times, and but they settled in really nicely. And I was more close with Lucky Lou, because she was more of a wanting to sit and be close, and she was just all over the place and wanted to play, and she's pretty independent. Anyway, but after Lucky Lou was gone, then we got close, right? We were more playmates than anything. So that's the story of my birds. Is anyone still watching? Yeah, 130. So we got our pumpkin slightly carved. My phone's gonna run out now. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And I'll figure out next time how to do a chat. And I chose to do YouTube Live today because I have a lot of, I have subscribers on my page, and they're not on Facebook, so I got to give them a taste of what I thought I'd do a live video for them too. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I don't know if I'll be able to turn on commenting. If you're on Facebook, you can let me know if you saw it or whatever. I feel bad that I wasn't able to put on commenting, because I kind of like to read the comments. So anyways, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for watching, and I got to figure out how to turn this off. I don't know how to turn it off, or if it's still on. How do you end it? Oh, there we go. I don't know how to end this. Now what? I don't know how to end it. Oh, X. Are you sure you want to stop the streaming?